per design, you're not supposed to go there, you know? Maybe it's mental hygiene. I think those things are, without me getting too critical, but I think they're kind of like self-regulating control mechanisms. I think if you talk to anybody that took a lot of LSD or MDMA or DMT or even had more psychedelic experiences with cannabis, would start agreeing with you and say, almost like a Timothy Leary situation, you know, why is it that everybody's psyches are put in a box? Anyways, enough about that. It kind of went a little bit further, and I saw ghosts and stuff, man. Like they would like materialize. And this happened multiple times. Now, I was simply applying the Buddhist technique of observing without reaction, like a total nerd. And I would just observe. I would ground myself and I'd say, whatever. There's probably experiences in this world that are even crazier. So what? They're all temporal. What meaning can you assign to them? Observe and move on. Ground yourself. And that's what I did. Yeah. So I can get into more of the details about those experiences, but I don't really see the point. But maybe one day I'll make a video more specific about those things. I'll delve into it some more. I saw, on one occasion, I saw a ghost come out of the wall in my living room. And it looked like some female aspect. And and I was just like, whoa, no way, you know, and then just grounding myself. And I just had at that time, I just had a general thing like, okay, peace to all beings, just leave me alone, you know? And I heard this high, almost like a singing tone, like almost ephemeral, high note, song note, and then the thing disappeared. Weird, huh? Bizarre. Already by now it's just upside down, man. Like there's so many weird things. So I started reading about Carl Gustav Jung's, from a Western scientific certain perspective. And he wrote about things like synchronicities in his later life. I think he coined the term synchronicities. Maybe you guys are used to it. Maybe some of you guys are used to that. If anybody out there done a lot of yoga or been into like new age stuff, I'm pretty sure you know about these terms. A synchronicity, what is it? It's like one of those moments where you look at a clock and it's like 03:03, and at the same time you're listening to the radio, and it's like the words they're saying in the radio is almost having like a different meaning to you, because maybe you've had a fight with your mom and you haven't talked to her in for ages, and suddenly you had a dream about her last day, and then boom, in the radio they're talking about something and it connects in your mind. And then somebody's like walking across the street, say you're in your car, they walk across the street and they're holding something like a plastic bag and it's like your mom's name, and then you look at a time and it'll be like 11:11 or something. That's synchronicity, right? A construct of coincidental events that summate into something that seems beyond random. And they connect often in multiple dimensions, between a thought, between a life event, between mechanical things like a time or weird events like something strange happening in front of you. So they can emerge in a construct of different ways, but they're supposed to be meaningful to the observer. Now, of course, I experienced a myriad of these things through the years, and they almost became commonplace. I didn't know, I mean, of course, in Buddhism, they tell you not to subject too much meaning into those moments. So I didn't, I just observed and let them pass, and I thought, okay, well, at the very least, I'll take it as a good sign that I'm advancing in a spiritual progression, I suppose. I never thought about it from the Judeo-Christian perspective. I didn't think that they could be bad things or good things, or that there was a light and a dark. I thought, sure, there's like maybe beings that have goodwill, volition, and others that have less. Yeah. Well, although I was no longer like quote unquote atheist, because obviously I kind of noticed that there's definitely more behind the hood of reality, like under the hood of reality, than the standard worldview construct that I had at that moment. Yeah, and I just thought, that's weird, but it is. So I started to read more and more Carl Gustav Jung. I read many authors I'll have to go dig. But I went from being a Richard Dawkins enthusiast to something entirely different. And anyways, so by now, I had that health crisis, and I thought, okay, I felt a new appetite for doubling down on